make you generate those jobs. We are also going to make
Audience,
sure that
please. Thank you.
Insecurity is tackled in a professional manner. We will engage the insurgents. We will engage people who are asking for the country to be dismembered. We will engage those who today are unemployed by way of making sure that the revenue accruing to this country is put to use. We will make sure that we reform the regulatory agencies, because a government is as strong as its regulatory agencies. Today, they are not performing their functions as enshrined in the constitution of this country. We are going to make sure that we restructure the economy in the manner provided for in our constitution. The National Assembly can do the structuring as an ongoing thing. That's why the Assembly is supposed to be able to amend the constitution to take care of whatever aspirations of the economy is at any given point in time. We will make sure that Nigerians begin to live safely, because today, where everybody is afraid, you can't travel from one place to the other. We are going to make sure that our children are back in schools, because today we have 13.5 or so million children out of school. And we are also going to ensure that Nigeria is given rightful place in the scheme of things. I'm talking about being respected again, in the Community of Nations.
All right, thank you very much. To Mr. Faladuro Otoye. Now, I'm going to have to itemize 3 points, and I want you to tell me the most important one that you'll be tackling as soon as you become president, and this goes for all of you gentlemen. Naira has been 360 to the dollar for 2 years now, and we know that this is artificial, as a lot has been going on all around the world as far as the global economy is concerned. That's number one. Now, petrol prices have been 145 for over 2 years. It costs 145 to buy petrol at the pump. That's been going on for a long time now. And according to MITO, electricity tariffs should have gone up at least twice since 2015. As a matter of fact, DISCOs have been saying that they need cost-reflective tariff for them to realize the goals of providing electricity for Nigerians. Which would be the most important one for you? And how long should we see that change? Within 100 days, 6 months?
I think that many of these which one is more important or which one is less important is not really the issue at hand. Because most of the time, they're all interrelated. And so the first most important thing that you always need to do to be able to solve the problems of this nation is get the right committed leadership in each of the key areas that will solve your sectoral problems. So you need the right committed leadership at the same time in power, as you need the right committed leadership in petroleum and oil and gas, as you need the right level and committed leadership in managing your economy. You cannot say, I would manage the economy first, or I would manage power first. They are all interrelated.
Will you retain fuel subsidy?
And so this is my point, that you will work with an integrated team of experts that will help to make sure that we do these things simultaneously and also do them at the same time. The most important things that we're going to do is that we will work with a team that is committed to removing bottlenecks that are stifling the government as we speak today. The second most important thing that we're going to do is to reduce the wastage in government and the corruption that has looted our economy of all the resources that we need to be able to invest and grow our different sectors. The third most important thing is that we must reform our civil service and make sure that our civil service has the orientation of how do we help the private sector succeed. Because once we get the private sector succeeding, we would grow jobs, the economy would grow, and it will grow sustainably. The fourth most important thing is we've got to restructure our economy, especially by making sure that we reallocate resources to the communities that are currently hosting the mineral resources and the natural resources of our nation. So that what then happens is, for us, we believe that we need to reallocate those resources to 20% to the communities, 20% to the local government, 20% to the state, and 40% to the federal government. The last thing is we've got to reorient our people as a whole. Now, let me be clear. When you do all of these things, the economic value, you would trigger the economy, and then you would see that every other thing begins to work out well, and it won't be one or the other. We're solving the problem of Nigeria at the same time.
Mr. Tope Fasua, low-hanging fruits. Well, some don't agree with the 100 days issue. How long should Nigerians have to wait to begin to see a difference in their lives if you become president?
Thank you. I agree we don't have that time at all, and we need something that's more than urgent. We don't actually need a fighter as a president. We need a wartime president, Perhaps we don't understand the problem we're in. Nigeria is at war on the economic front, apart from on issues of security. This, you have to have a wartime and a Marshall Plan. My campaign is titled The Revolution of Ideas. I will not be thinking about Naira rate. The only way Naira will be fixed is if the country is productive on every front. Forget about petrol. Let's incentivize something else. I discovered that palm oil is, palm oil on the street is worth 5 times more than petrol. So why are we not incentivizing people in the area of food? And of course, the issue of electricity bill, I actually realized that Nigeria is now paying a lot more we're paying a lot more in Nigeria than a lot of my friends who live in UK, in US, but Canada is a little bit higher than us. But you look at our per capita income, why are we paying this much on electricity? They're pricing in the inefficiency. So what we're going to be doing, number one, within 100 days, the first thing I'm going to do is to kind of review the budget from the 8 trillion to 15 trillion, and I know we can fund it. Perhaps we'll get to talk about that. And I also will ensure that that budget is pro-poor. Secondly, we're going to be employing at least 2 million teachers, especially for the universal basic education level for the primary schools, especially because they're not being taught right now. Also, we're going to digitize the civil service and move people away from the secretariats, move them to the villages and local government where they are needed. Even if you send them there and all they do is buy their lunch there, you are reviving the lives in those villages.
Okay, Mr. Tope Fasua, I will take the liberty of taking 20 seconds out of your time to the SDP candidate.
I have a lot
You'll
of
have to forgive me for that. Yes, what will be the low-hanging fruits for you? Nigerians are curious to know, when you become president, if you become president, what will be the most important things that you would tackle?
Well, you need to bring efficiency into governance. It's critical. Now, part of this has to do with, you talked about subsidy earlier on. This is a nation imports petroleum products at a certain price and sells it at half the price. You wouldn't do that in your own business. I do agree that there is a need to cushion the lifestyle and livelihood of Nigerians, but you're flaring gas. And the same gas you flare, you sell locally at international price, but you import petroleum products from international markets and subsidize it locally. It just doesn't make sense. We spend more on subsidizing petroleum products and education. We spend about 20% of our budget on subsidies for folks to drive on cars that on roads that do not exist. So common sense in governance is the basic thing. The quality of people you bring into governance, the leadership of the various ministries and parastatals is important. A clear vision of where you want to take the country to is critical, but above all, the will to make it happen.
All right, thank you very much. So the candidate of the Young Progressive Party, we're really pressed for time, and so I have to do this very quickly. Yes, please.
The first thing I'll do as president of Nigeria is to announce my cabinet of competent people within 48 hours. Now, not only that, I will be the first president to announce a cabinet since 1999 with all portfolios allocated. So you know who's going to be minister for what. Not just that you're announcing people, but no allocation. So if they go to the Senate, what questions should the Senate be asking them? That should be influenced by their portfolio. So that's number one. Number two, we will set up 4 offices that will drive my presidency, and it has never happened before in this country. The first will be the Office of National Strategy. The second will be the National Office of Risk Management. The third will be the Office of Performance Management. And the fourth will be the Office of Human Capital Development. These will be small units, not big bureaucracies, inside the presidency. They will drive 21st century governance in Nigeria. And then, after that is set, there are 3 things we will begin.
Right. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you very much. Like they say, life ain't fair. Now, to your closing remarks, gentlemen, Mr. Sowore, you have 30 seconds to speak to Nigerians. Your closing remarks, please. 30 seconds.
Thank you so much, everyone, for the opportunity to engage with you tonight. We have a chance to change the situation of Nigeria tonight. We have a chance to engage and reverse the decline that's become part of our life. And nobody can do it better than the guy who's been doing it for 30 years. Done it since 1989, fighting against military, fighting against annulment of the election, fighting to bring about democracy, setting up a world-class business to fight corruption in this country. And I'm standing in front of you today in 2019 30 years later, ready to help discharge Nigeria of the wicked and incompetent regime that's put us all in an open
Thank you very much. To the engineer Yabagi Yusuf, please tell us your closing remarks to Nigerians.
Well, I want to appeal to the conscience of Nigerians to, when you hold that ballot paper, please vote wisely. Vote ADP. Reasons are that there are too much pains in the land. We are becoming, already we're a laughing stock. This country will crash if we do not take action. The youth in particular, you have the opportunity now to change narratives about this country, to redirect this country in the right direction so that we will now begin to live as human beings, not killing each other, not battling with elementary things like hunger in the midst of plenty. I'm appealing to Nigerians to vote for Engineer Wawa Isani on the day of the election. Vote ADP.
Thank you very much.
That is the solution to our country.
Thank you very much. To the Alliance for New Nigeria candidate.
Well, let me say to every Nigerian, thank you for holding strong and keeping your faith and your belief. Then Saturday offers us an opportunity in this country to make a choice as to which way our country goes and the future that we will give to our children. We have an option. We can either choose the old or the new. We can choose the old Nigeria led by old politicians, many of whom we will not hire to start our own business or to run our own businesses. If you will not hire a 76-year-old MD for your company or a 72-year-old MD for your company, you should not hire a 72-year-old or 76-year-old president for your country. Most importantly, these people have formed the cabal that have held us bound, and we need to get our freedom. So I declare to APC and PDP, who are both not here because they cannot answer the questions that have been thrown to them, let my people go.
Thank you very much.
And on 14th, please vote Alliance for New Nigeria,
yes.
the party with the logo of the lion.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Please,
Well, first of all, I'd like to claim one laurel that I'm wearing on my sleeve right now. Of everybody here, I think I'm the only one that has been to Boko Haram territory, moving between Maiduguri and Damaturu, and seeing what this country is all about. However, a vote for me is a vote for you. That a vote that an ordinary person, an ordinary Joe in this country can step up without the connection and make the impact that needs to be made. It's a vote for the revolution of ideas, because we know that this country is due for a revolution now, but we can keep it at the level of ideas because we're not bloody people. A vote for intellect. Also, a vote for me is a vote for youth productivity, because the biggest thing that should happen in this country now is that the youth and the young people and the not so young should kick in and take this country to where it needs to be. And lastly, I want you to vote everywhere you see the computer party, whether for governorship, Senate, House of Reps, House of Assembly, thumb it for that for us. We are that digital party they've been talking about. Thank you very much, and thanks for inviting me here.
Thank you. The candidate of the SDP.
I like the passion of my colleagues here on the stage, but talk is cheap. I know they mean well. I really know, and I respect that. But it's more than that. It's not how well you mean. And you know, it's not your intentions, it's your ability. I have that ability, it's proven. And I said this is an unfortunate stage because I'm the only one here who has governed. Indeed, of all the aspirants or candidates running for president, besides Muhammadu Buhari, I'm the only one who has governed, and I have a track record to prove. You need to create a nation where we are all stakeholders. All our problems, security, insecurity, corruption, they're all symptoms of a deeper problem, as symptoms of a poverty level that makes you feel that you're not a stakeholder in your nation, so you're ready to bring the roof down, right? We need to tackle the indices of poverty head on to ensure that all the symptoms that we see are cleared.
Thank you very much. To the candidate of the YPP.
Thank you. It is time. It is time for something new, something different, something bold. It is time to move into the future. It is time for a transformational leader. Nigeria faces 3 challenges. We're a country, but we're not a nation. Our economy has collapsed, and we have lost our standing in the world. As a former deputy governor of the central bank, I have governed the financial system of Nigeria. As a former United Nations official for 17 years, I have built and fixed broken nations in Rwanda, in Croatia, in Cambodia. As a former United Nations official, I have played senior leadership roles in international relations and diplomacy. Therefore, I believe that I'm best prepared to lead Nigeria into the future. The YPP is the last party on the ballot. You don't have to look for it, and we are going to, for the first time in this country, give women a voice.
Thank you very much.
Women will have a voice in the
Thank you
YPP.
so much, gentlemen, for your civil way of putting out your plans for Nigeria if you do become president. I really must appreciate all of you for turning up at this 2019 presidential debate, also known as the People's Debate, organized by TVC, EIE, Budget, One, and of course other partners, including the BBC. Thank you so much, gentlemen. God bless Nigeria. And I am Ngozi Alebu.